Hi everyone, it's Mike here and welcome back to my YouTube channel. So it's Saturday, so it's time for the next Mission Inspiration Art Challenge, week 39. I know, week 39 already, but then again we are coming up to the end of September and the beginning of October, so it's about right. So the prompt for this week is Fragility. So delicate as a whisper, life's beauty lies in vulnerability. Embrace the tender moments, they carry profound strength. Like a fragile bloom, your essence radiates resilience. Handle with care, for in acknowledging fragility, you cultivate compassion, weaving a tapestry of empathy and understanding in the fabric of existence. So, and obviously the image there is of a very frail kind of flower or something growing from what looks like a bit of waste ground. That kind of image that we always have of a little weed or a daisy or a dandelion or something poking up through the cracks of the side of a road. So what I thought, the different kind of aspects of fragility, and it's also how precarious some things can be, the delicate kind of balance of life and, I won't say death because that's not kind of like the right thing. It's just the fragility of existence, how things can teeter and fall and break apart really, really easily. So what I've done is I've cut a piece of just white cardstock, which is going to go down onto my main. I wanted to leave a little bit of a border, so I didn't want to stamp directly onto my base. I'm going to put that to one side because I'll stick everything down afterwards. And then I've got this. So what I'm going to try and do is I'm going to try and do a complete overall stamping. So by that I mean use all of these texture stamps, background texture stamps, and I'm literally just going to stamp all over the piece and just build up loads of layers with all the different textures, just to get a kind of grungy, mottled, kind of broken up background. So let me just move, oh, one of them's just fallen off the laminate. Let me just move that out of the way. I'll explain what that is in a moment. So first of all then, and I'm not going to use a stamping block. I'm not going to use a stamping block. No, I think I will use a stamping block. I've got no idea where all my other ones have gone. I had a full set of stamping blocks and yeah, they've just disappeared. They'll be buried somewhere under loads of detritus, knowing me. Right, so we'll start off with, there's a big pile of rubbish to the right hand side of my desk here. When I say rubbish, it's just stuff that I've just never bothered to put away. But that's me all over. Right, so let me just ink up. I'm going to use, do I want black? Yeah, I do want black. I do want black, but not necessarily first generation. Let's get some scratch paper, stamp off, and then I'm gonna just stamp around, but not necessarily first gen. And I'm gonna take it past the edges of the paper as well, so there we go. So this may take a little bit of time just to kind of get that balance right. Okay, so we've used that one. Let's use the brick. And I'm going to do exactly the same with that one. This time I'm going to go over. Okay. And then we've got the crackle. And like I said, this is a background kind of composition, so it doesn't have to be completely perfect. So we've got those. Right, so that's all of the stamps from Journaling Textures 2. So that's those 3. So let's use, that means the back of that stamp wants cleaning. Right, here we go. And then Journaling Textures 1. And we are talking just about layering in different areas. Actually, I think that one will do for that one. And we're going to go over all right, so we've got complete coverage now of that sheet. So I'm going to go back in and just start layering just in different areas. No, I think I've done that one. And then the last one is going to be some text. So this is the French text, grungy French text from a Jules Verne novel, believe it or not. In fact, I'm not going to use the block. Just a hint of wordage is sometimes enough to build up that kind of background. And then if you feel like you need something else in there, maybe I want to do a few more of those. Just layer and just keep going until, you know, you're happy with kind of your textures that you've got. See, I'm only going around the edges, but I like that. I like the kind of grungy uncertainty of the background. There's a bit of a gap there, so let's try and get some wordage in there. That's better. It's great for just filling in gaps. Oh, yes, happy with that. Right, what I'm going to do is I'll just have a quick clean up on my work surface and then I'll be back. All right, so I've just had that tidy up and clean up. So just finally, so those were the stamp sets that I used, Journaling Textures 1 and Journaling Textures 2, which are both available still on my website. That wants a little bit of moisture adding to the back. It's just dry. There we go. So yeah, Journaling Textures 1 and Journaling Textures 2. All right, so on to the next step. All right, so as I was saying, the next step, as you can see, that should say vintage photo, but it's, you know, it's old. Well loved is the key. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to come in and just go around the outside of that. Just give it a little bit of that kind of vintagey, grunge, worn look. So as you can see, I'm starting off the paper and working my way on. Never start directly on your paper, because what you'll end up with is a ring or some kind of mark that you don't want. If you start off your cardstock and work your way into it, you've got control. whichever way around you go, left anti-clockwise, clockwise isn't entirely up to you. So this background here was actually inspired by one of the Indigo Blue design team ladies, one of the Bluebirds, a lady called Kath Carter, who created some ATCs recently. And she did a background like this, but she did hers with gesso and embossing powders, black gesso, white gesso, and resist embossing powders. And I just loved the look of it, and I thought I could just so easily recreate a similar kind of image to what she created, but just with bog standard inks. So that's what I thought I would do today. So well done, Kath. Love it. So that's now done. So I just need to get rid of the excess ink off my work mat, because otherwise I'm going to get it all on my hand. And then I'll be back to start adding my next layer. Okay, so the next step, I've got this sheet of paper. This is just a printout from a new paper set, which will be coming probably in the next month or so. This is from a paper set called Nature's Inspiration. So as you can see, there's flowers in the background there, but there's also lots of different kind of numbers and that kind of stuff. So this is going to be cut up. I'm going to trim this down. So what I want to do is I want to try and trim it between those numbers. Like so. And then, but I want to try and create equal kind of sized strips to give me kind of equal sized blocks. Almost like the blocks that we had when we were kids, like building blocks. So, or just squares that we can build with. So let's do, they don't have to be exact. They definitely don't have to be exact, but you can always trim them to your requirements later if you want, if you do want them exact. See, that one's got a little bit of white showing, so we'll have the bottom of that one off. And I want 6, so I've got a possibility of 9 here, so but I only want 6 of them. So that's 4, 5. What we got? We've got a few 2s, a 9, a 2-ish and a 9-ish. Not a 6, maybe a 4. They don't. They're only supposed to give you a hint of numbers, not be actual numbers. There's also a 0 there as well. Look, so let's just see how that goes. I know I said I only wanted 6, but if there's too many 2s, that's fine. All right, so I can save those for another day. So yes, so Nature's Inspiration is the art pad that that's called. Like I said, currently in development and production. Possibly may come out this year. It may just be saved until January-ish. Because, you know, we do need new product in the new year. And like I've said before, because we all need to earn a living. All right, 0, so we do need to have new stuff coming out all the time. We can't release everything straight away, all at once, because that would just be like overload. So what we got? So another 2. Let's just remove that. The thing is, we can make these smaller just by trimming off the excess if we need to. Some of the letters or numbers are bigger than others. So what I need to do is probably just bring that card stock back in again, maybe audition some of the numbers on the page. And you may be thinking, well, what's this got to do with fragility? Well, you'll see. You'll see. Right, where's me stack? Right, so what I want to do is I want to start building up some layers like so. Could turn that upside down, couldn't we? That teetering right on the edge like that. Showing the fragile balance. Should we have that as a 9? Or should we swap that for a 2 there and put the 9 there? Yeah, I think those 6 like that will go just nicely. Lovely. Right, so we've got the balance. Let's get some glue. So let's just try and work out where they're going to go. So let's just add some vintage Brune. Oh, dropsy today. Just to get rid of some of those raw white edges. So we'll do that before we stick everything down. I'm just laughing at myself, blowing away the fluff, and then I end up blowing all my numbers all over. Okay, so we'll start off here and then nearly forgot. So over the past few weeks and months, I've noticed that there's been a definite drop off in the amount of views that my YouTube channel's been getting. And it's nothing to do with customers just not bothering anymore or whatever. It's all got to do with the YouTube algorithm and the way that they recommend videos to people on YouTube. I'm not alone. I've done a little bit of research, and there's quite a few YouTubers of all experiencing the same issue with YouTube at the moment, whereas when we upload a new video, even though some subscribers have got notifications and the bell clicked, they're still not receiving notifications until, you know, like hours after the video's gone live. And by that time, the algorithm is designed, if it hasn't had any traction within, you know, a couple of hours, then it can't be any good. So therefore it doesn't recommend to anybody else. So it's a double-edged sword, really. I've noticed that my notifications for people I subscribe to all come together at once at about 11 o'clock at night. I get a notification on my phone at like 11 o'clock to say so-and-so has uploaded a new video, and it could have been hours previously. I'm not teetering right on the edge there. So if it's happening to me, then it's happening to other people. And also what's happening when you get a new subscriber. Previously in the past, when you subscribe to a channel, you'll find some of their older videos and most popular videos recommended to you because if you've signed up to somebody's YouTube channel, then you might like to see what they've done in the past. So YouTube are no longer doing that either. So a lot of the older videos, say like for mine, for like 2 or 3 years ago, are no longer being recommended like they used to be, even to new subscribers. So, which is why my YouTube viewership has gone down, even though my subscriber numbers have continued to climb upwards. See, that's what first alerted me that there was a problem. That my subscriber numbers have climbed, have now gone past 32,000, but the actual watch time and view count has dropped, which is counterintuitive. Because obviously the more people you have subscribed, the more people then should be being notified of your videos going live. But that's not the case. So YouTube are kind of killing off their own subscribers' YouTube channels, because obviously, you know, a lot of people rely on the revenue that comes in for the adverts, from the adverts. All right, so we've got that. So what I want to do now is I want to bring in a little bit of shading, some watercolour shading. So where's my trusty Stabilo All pencil and my water brush. And then what I want to do is just start adding some of that around the outside, and then we'll just activate that just to get a little bit of ground in there, and then we'll do that just to kind of create a little bit of shadowing just to make it pop. And we can always work it out if it looks a bit too dark. We can always just break it apart a bit. A little bit more just there. We'll have some between here. A bit more there, a bit more there. Definitely some there. Definitely a bit in between those there. And then flip that around. A little bit in there. So yes, so those are the challenges that we're, as YouTube content creators, these are the challenges that we're having to deal with YouTube at the moment. And like I said, I'm not the only one that's noticed this. People like Barbara from 49 Dragonflies has also noticed it, and a few other non-crafting YouTubers that I subscribe to have noticed it and commented and all that kind of stuff. So it's not just me. It's not just me. And like I said, there's not a lot we can do about it because it's YouTube and they're alone to themselves. We just have to kind of try and react to that as best we can. Okay, so we've got those kind of teetering precarious numbers. So I've also got a quote here that I've printed out already. So let me just cut that out. That wasn't a rant, by the way. That was just a comment on the state of play at the moment. I mean, you can see for yourself, really. I'm not just saying it. You can go back and have a look at say 2 or 3 years ago, the amount of views, the view numbers that my videos used to get, and then look at what they're getting now. And the fact that, you know, 3 years ago, I had a lot less subscribers. It's self-evident. And I can't fudge those numbers. I can't fake those numbers. You see, that the thing is, it's not just YouTube revenue. If people are not being notified of my videos, then they're not also being notified that I've got new products, new stencils, new stamps, new paper pads. So it does have a knock-on effect to my income, to my revenue, to my job. Because, you know, this is my job. All right, so my phrase is, strength and fragility coexist in every human heart. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stick that on there. Obviously, the art journal page shows that there is a precarious kind of teetering, about a perfect balance between strength with the blocks and fragility. So what I'm going to do is put that towards the bottom. Actually, let's put it there, towards the bottom. I don't normally put quotes towards the bottom. Well, I suppose I do, really. Should never say never, should I? So I'm sure I have done probably quite a bit in the past. Lovely, like that, but it's not finished because obviously we mentioned human hearts, so we've got to have a heart shape to be stuck down as well. So that's what we're going to do. So I will try. I've run out of red cardstock and I didn't want to sit and have to paint a piece. So let's just grunge the edges up on that. Just hand cut out. Alright, so I also want to be able to show strength, so just bear with me a second. Just because I can. So let's bring in a stapler. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put 2 staples crossing. Like so. Get some glue. And I think I'm going to put that up there. And then while that's sitting there, let's give that some faux stitching. There we go. That just needs to be held down. So the strength that comes from building blocks can also be fragile if not laid correctly. The foundation's not laid correctly, but also you've got that fragility and strength in the human heart, which is represented by the crossed staples. Lovely. Right, so where's my sheet? It's there. So then that's going to get stuck down now onto there. So I'm going to need some stronger glue for that. So let's use some indigo blue grab and go. which is a bit stronger. Grabs quicker, which is what you want. Just rub that. You don't want any massive grubby globs squeezing out from underneath. That'll do. There we go. So that is my art journal page for week 39. So let's just write that number up there. So we know. Lovely. Let's just see if we can zoom in a little bit. And then let's see if we can just focus that. There we go. All right, so there's my art journal page for week 39, mission inspiration, and the prompt being fragility. So I hope you've enjoyed watching me create that today. If you have, please remember to give the video a thumbs up, because it does help. And that on screen there is the URL for the Mission Inspirations Facebook group if you haven't joined us already over there. 5,000 strong all upon at the moment, and we're just working out what we're going to be doing for next year. So there's a little poll on the Facebook group at the moment just asking for your input as to how you want the missions to be next year, whether you want to carry on the way we are or whether or not we should go back to some of the previous formats in previous years, because next year the Mission Inspiration will be 10 years old. Yes, started in 2015, so 2025 it'll be 10 years old, and I've been going for a decade. Can't believe it. But anyway, so yeah, so the input's there, the poll's there. Just go and have your input and you have your say about how you want the missions to go for next year, because I do intend to carry on with them because I like doing them, I know you like doing them, and I feel like there's a little bit of responsibility to keep it going now, so because it's now got a momentum of its own. So that's all from me for now. I will see you all again very, very soon. Bye for now. I'd like to say a huge thank you to all of my angels, because without you, these videos would not be possible. And don't forget, you can access your exclusive angel-only content over on my website. There's a link in the description area below. Thank you.